can a secret, something hidden away and nurtured in silence, actually bloom into something that completely changes your life?
Or maybe can finding friendship in really unexpected places help you find a kind of joy you thought was completely gone?
They're really compelling questions, aren't they? And they're right at the heart of Frances Hodgson Burnett's The Secret Garden.
Exactly. It seems like a simple children's story on the surface, but it reveals some really profound truths about healing, about connection.
Absolutely. The book introduces us to Mary Lennox. She's this young girl whose early life in India was, frankly, quite lonely and isolated.
Mm-hmm.
But inside this story, there's this powerful look at how really difficult situations, adversity can sometimes lead to renewal. It's about how hidden spaces can nurture growth.
And how the bonds we make, the friendships, can bring life back to, well, even the most desolate spirits.
Yeah. And actually, for a different angle on this, you might want to check out Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel. It uses AI to analyze books like this one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's designed to kind of spark your own reflections and maybe some critical thinking about the stories.
That sounds useful. So thinking about Mary's start, her world in India, it was one of real neglect, but sort of hidden behind this facade of privilege.
Right. Her parents didn't really want her. She was indulged by her ayah.
Which led to her developing this, well, pretty unpleasant personality, really. Stuck in her own little isolated bubble.
And then, bang, this sudden, devastating cholera outbreak.
It just sweeps through, taking her parents, the servants, everyone she knew.
Suddenly, this little neglected girl is completely, utterly alone.
And this massive trauma just transports her halfway across the world to Misselthwaite Manor in Yorkshire. It's the estate of her uncle, Archibald Craven, who's this total recluse.
Talk about culture shock from India to Yorkshire.
Exactly. And the manor itself is this huge, gloomy place. Lots of silence, secrets, closed-off rooms, and this vast, imposing moor outside.
And Mary's first reaction, she hates it.
Understandably, perhaps. She finds the manor, the landscape, just bleak, so different from India, even with its dangers. The moor holds zero appeal for her at first.
But, even in this quite stark place, little seeds of change start to, sprout.
Yes, through Martha. She's this down-to-earth Yorkshire housemaid.
Right, and she starts telling Mary about her own big, lively family and about the moor. Its wildness.
And Martha's stories, they start to gently chip away at Mary's hardened exterior, especially the stories about her brother, Dickon.
Ah, Dickon. The boy who connects with animals and knows them more.
Exactly. These stories spark something in Mary. A little bit of curiosity, which is huge for a girl previously just wrapped up in herself.
It's a small shift, but really significant, isn't it?
Definitely. And this curiosity leads her to start exploring the grounds, the gardens around the manor.
And that's when she hears about the garden, the locked one.
Mm-hmm. The one Mr. Craven shut up after his wife died 10 years before. He even buried the key. Total isolation for that space.
The mystery pulls her in, and then she meets Ben Weatherstaff, the old gardener.
A bit grumpy, Ben is.
He is, but he has this connection with a little Robin Redbreast, who seems surprisingly friendly towards Mary.
Right. These encounters, they offer these little glimpses of life, of warmth, amidst all the sadness of the manor.
And we start seeing a change in Mary herself, physically even.
Yeah, her appetite gets better. She wants to be outside more. It's like this inner stirring is happening, breaking through that initial apathy.
Which leads us to that really magical moment, the robin.
The robin. It basically shows her where the key is buried.
It's such a pivotal scene. Finding that key feels like finding a tangible piece of hope in this place defined by loss.
And when she finally pushes open that door and steps into the secret garden for the first time, it's not what you might expect.
No, it's not full of flowers. It's neglected, overgrown, looks almost dead in places.
But instead of despair, seeing that desolation sparks something else in Mary. Determination.
Yeah, she decides right then and there she's going to bring it back to life.
But Misselthwaite Manor has more secrets than just a garden, doesn't it?
It does. Mary keeps hearing this crying sound inside the house.
Not just the wind, like people try to tell her.
No, it's definitely coming from somewhere inside. So her curiosity, now coupled with this newfound sense of purpose from the garden,
drives her to explore the house, find the source, and she discovers this hidden door.
And behind it,
Colin Craven, her cousin. A boy she never knew existed, confined to his room.
And Colin is convinced he's dying, right? That he's going to become a hunchback like his father fears.
Yes, his life is ruled by this fear, by his isolation. It's made him, prone to tantrums and convinced of his own fragility.
It's quite a meeting. They're the same age, but worlds apart in their experience at this point. Mary's just starting to emerge from her own bitterness.
And she finds Colin completely consumed by his illness or his belief in it.
And they uncover this really sad connection. The secret garden belonged to his mother.
And his father locked it up after she died there. That same loss fuels Mr. Craven's grief and why he avoids Colin. It's all tangled together.
So Mary, maybe sensing the garden's power, she tells Colin about it.
Frames it as their secret, a sanctuary. Something just for them, away from all the gloom and the doctors and the expectations.
And it works, doesn't it? Colin is immediately fascinated.
Completely. Mary's visits, her stories about the garden, about being outside, they start to lift his mood. He clings to this idea of the secret garden.
And then Dickon arrives on the scene.
Dickon. Martha's brother. He's like the spirit of the moor embodied. He just gets nature.
He brings tools, seeds. But more than that, he brings this vibrant energy.
And an understanding of the natural world that just clicks with Mary instantly. He really deepens her connection for reviving the garden.
He teaches her about things being wick.
Yeah, the Yorkshire word for alive. He shows her how to see life even in the seemingly dead branches and roots. It fosters this real, tangible sense of hope.
It feels so practical yet magical at the same time.
It really does. So the next logical step is bringing Colin into this world.
But how? He's confined inside.
Well, Dickon, being Dickon, figures it out. He starts bringing his animal friends, the fox cub, the crow, the squirrels, indoors to visit Colin.
Oh, brilliant. So Colin gets these little tastes of the wild, of connection with living things, right there in his room.
Exactly. And it just fuels his desire to see the garden even more.
So they hatch a plan, a secret plan to get Colin out there.
Kept totally hidden from the household staff, from Mrs. Medlock, from the doctor. It must have felt like a real conspiracy.
Imagine the excitement, the secrecy of wheeling him out there for the first time.
And that first moment for Colin, actually in the secret garden, it's profoundly transformative. Surrounded by all this life starting to return.
He makes that declaration, doesn't he? I shall get well.
Yes. It's this powerful assertion, born from the place itself and the belief his friends have shown him, a real turning point.
And then Ben Weatherstaff stumbles upon them.
Right. Catches them completely by surprise.
Yeah.
And he sees Colin standing.
The gruff old gardener who remembered Colin's mother in that very garden. It must have been incredibly emotional.
You can only imagine. And from there, the three of them, Mary, Colin, Dickon, they work together, nurturing the garden, nurturing Colin's health. It's this beautiful synergy.
It really is. And I find Colin's adoption of this idea of magic fascinating.
Yes. It's not necessarily supernatural magic, but more like the life force within himself, inspired by nature, by Dickens' sort of quiet wisdom.
It's his way of understanding his own power to heal, isn't it? Believing in his own weakness.
Precisely. It's that internal shift, that belief that's just as vital as the fresh air and the exercise he starts getting.
And the change in Colin is just remarkable. From this isolated, fearful, tantrum-throwing child
to a boy who's vibrant, active, engaged with life, laughing, running eventually. The garden, Mary, Dickon, they were the perfect antidote to his despair.
Meanwhile, the story also follows Mr. Craven, his father, still traveling, still lost in grief.
Yeah, he's wandering through Europe, trying to escape his sorrow. But even for him, subtle shifts are happening. Nature starts to touch him again. A dream makes him pause.
And then he gets that letter from Susan Sowerby.
Ah, yes. Martha and Dickon's mother. Such a wise woman. Her letter is gentle but firm, urging him to come home, suggesting maybe his late wife would want him to find life again.
It prompts his return, which is quite unexpected for everyone at the manor.
And leads to that final, incredibly moving scene. He's drawn towards the secret garden by sounds of laughter.
And he finds Colin, not the invalid he left behind, but a healthy, vibrant boy actually running towards him.
It's the culmination of everything. The garden restored, the children healed, and now this reunion revealing the garden's full transformative power, even beginning to heal Mr. Craven's own long-held grief.
It really shows how interconnected everything is. The healing of the garden, the healing of the children, even the potential healing for the adults.
Absolutely. And if you want to explore these themes of resilience and connection even further, remember you can check out Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel.
And of course, our podcasts offer more discussions like this one on various literary works.
Definitely worth checking out. Ultimately, The Secret Garden just leaves us with such powerful takeaways, that undeniable power of nature to restore us.
Both body and soul, really. And the absolute necessity of friendship, of connection, especially when facing tough times. Mary, Colin, and Dickon needed each other.
They created something together that none of them could have achieved alone. It really made the impossible seem possible.
And maybe the biggest thing is that reminder of the potential for positive change, that capacity for growth that exists even when things look completely bleak.
Like the garden itself. Dormant potential just waiting for the right conditions, the right care, the right connection to bloom.
So, something to think about as you go about your day. What might be your own secret garden? Is there a hidden source of strength, maybe, or joy that's just waiting for you to rediscover it and give it some attention?
It's a lovely thought. And to delve deeper into this wonderful book, we really hope you'll subscribe to our podcasts for more discussions.
Yes, please do. And maybe share this conversation with someone you think might find it interesting or uplifting.
You can also consider purchasing The Secret Garden. Check the link provided to experience the full story yourself.
And most importantly, we encourage you to just think critically about these themes we've touched on today: transformation, nature, friendship, and how they might resonate in your own life and experiences.